Hello, everybody. We, as you can see, are on a new colony. No, we are not stopping our other series. But I've been trying to think of something for, I'm going to let these guys dig. Think of something for a while now of what can I do to change up my videos for Oxygen Not Included, because this is the core game I play. Of course, I play others, but I don't get very many views on them. You know, this is the one I usually get the views on. Not much, but some. But anyways, as I was saying, what can I do to change, excuse me, change the way that I play so that not only do I get more views, but I also um, move up in the way of subscribers and channel growth and you know all that kind of stuff, right? It's tricky because I enjoy Oxygen Not Included, you know, just going along and playing. No rush to accomplish anything. If I make mistakes, I try to learn from them. Excuse me. If I do things from a standpoint of, you know, pattern building, that's a term that I've heard um, many times that I've been identified as, meaning that, you know, I build something one way and hey, it works for me, so why build it another way? And I do realize that there's lots of different ways to build stuff, and some of what I do is not optimal. But also, um, what can I do differently? Does that have slime? This is hard to talk and do this at the same time. To strategize and plan, right? um, what can I do differently from a recording standpoint and a video? My challenge is that you know, two things. One, um, yeah, I want to grow the channel. You know, that's obvious. Yes, I would like to get monetization off of the channel at some point, but this is a hobby, right? I'm not trying to pursue this for my main source of income or anything like that, because I know that, you know, the likelihood of something like that happening is not going to happen. I have a full-time job. I've been with the company I've been with for over 20 years. I enjoy what I do. Um, my job allows me to stay in a foreign country, um, which I am appreciative of, because, you know, this is my second home um, here in the Philippines. I'm from the US. And while, sure, you know, I mean, YouTube is like, hey, you know, I'm getting older. I mean, I'm almost 50. Just a couple of years. I'm the big 50. So if I was to make it to where I was bringing in a little extra income from this, that's great, but that's not my primary purpose. I do this as a hobby because I enjoy playing it. I like lots of games and I play tons of different games. I don't record them all because some of them I just play on my own. Old and new games, all different styles, although there are certain styles that I like much, much better. I grew up, you know, playing the simple games, Lemmings, things like that. And of course, when Nintendo came out, all of those, you know, Donkey, Donkey Kong and Mario and caveman games, if you've ever heard of that, the hilarious Duck Hunt, all those things. But then, of course, you know, as a child, I was fortunate that we were able to get into computers very early in the 80s, when home computers were really starting to come out, because before then you might have a Mac or an Atari gaming system or something like that. But stuff really didn't start getting published until the mid 80s and late 80s, and then, you know, things took off. And so the simulators, Microsoft Sims, you know, which was a flight simulator, Microsoft Flight Simulator, things like, um, Some of the first ones was, believe it or not, WoW, but World of Warcraft from Blizzard. But back in the day when it was completely different than what you play today, it was campaigns, and then things like Sid Meier's Civilization and Railroad Tycoon, and you name it. A lot of strategy games. So Oxygen not included. Excuse me, sorry for my coughing. Those of you that watch know why. Um, a lot of you, or a lot of strategy games, and Oxygen not included fit very well with that. And I was very pleased to be able to have that ability to play this game, and there's so much you can do with it. And yes, I totally agree. I have not progressed extremely far with Oxygen not included. Okay? I completely understand that. And I say that because, when you think about Oxygen not included, you think about, what is the end game, right? Thousands of cycles in or whatever. And you're pushing forward to get into space, conquer all the things, eventually build the whatever machine that opens up the portal into another dimension or something like that. I forget. I don't even know what the end game is, honestly. And I haven't accomplished any of that. One, the game changes a lot, which I love, that they're always putting new content in. And so I get so far in this, oh, you know what? I'd like to do that. And so I change games, right? And move over to the new. I start over because I want to do the new content and see how it's different, things like that. And then on my videos that you've been watching, if you've been watching, I just play along and I go because I enjoy it. I'm not trying to rush and get anywhere quick. Excuse me. Oh, my goodness. The most annoying thing about me recording is my coughing. I hope it doesn't annoy people too much. That's definitely a struggle. I'm gonna cut that because I'm gonna drain all of this over to here. Anyways, so I'm trying to think of what can I do different in how I record my videos. Obviously, this first one's gonna be fairly standard. We're just getting started. You're seeing it. I don't know if I have time to do this because I have a full-time job. It's really hard. It means that it would be less videos, which, that's not necessarily a bad thing because quantity isn't always the key. I've always tried to push out 1, if not 2 videos a day. But if I change my recording style to where I have to do a lot more editing to accomplish things in the game and show progress and things like that, it means less videos. Okay. Not a bad thing. But it means what I'm thinking is that maybe I just play this game for 4 or 5 hours at a time when I'm recording. Record it all, and then what you see as an end result is snippets, highlights as I go along. And I put the highlights together through some editing and go from there. I don't know if that's the right approach or if that's a better approach to gain more interest. Because I realize that there's some people, of course, that sit there and they just play the game on autoplay, and they may be doing other things at the same time, like working or homework or whatever. I do that while I'm working many times. I'll be working away, and if I'm not in meetings or anything, I'm working on a presentation, I'm working on something, a report or something else. All the videos going on in the background. It's not necessarily that I'm watching them because I'm working, but they're playing in the background of other people that I like to watch and support. And so I know that there's people that do that with my videos. That's fine. I know that there's people that watch my videos and like to provide feedback, which I love. I appreciate that. I think that's great. While if this was some sort of new strategy game or something like that, I would say, hey, no backseating. But I don't. This game, hey, give all the advice you want. Whether I use the advice, as some have found out, is tricky. I have learned good things from individuals. I thank you for that. But I know I don't apply everything. Sometimes it's just because I've already recorded past that section by a dozen videos, and so to go back and change something is like, it's not a big deal. But anyways, so maybe I should try this, where I have an opening, I have a plan, and then I break to where the video transitions into the game further, where I've accomplished something or I'm doing something. Like hey, here's what I'm gonna do, blah 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 blah, map 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 map. Transition, hey, it's done, here it is, final output, type of thing. I don't know if that's the right approach, if that's better, if that would, gain more interest, keep people interested more. That's tricky to say, to be honest. What would the effect be of me working in that type of video element? So we're gonna try it, and we're gonna see. So to start that, our first goal is we're gonna go ahead and, you notice I'm not building any bedrooms yet or anything. We're gonna try to apply some best practices on this Oceanus asteroid. Put things together and see what comes of it. All right. So our first goal that I'm going to do and then come back is progress on getting our initial base format set up. And so I think the important thing there is that I plan out what I want to do in its basics while I continue to advance research and level these guys up. And then I come back and I say, all right, this is what we're going to do. And then later on, I come back and say, okay, we've accomplished it. Here's the new project. And we may have multiple projects going at the same time. Oh, do we have polluted dirt and stuff on this asteroid? I didn't know that. Okay, cool. All right. I see a lot of good things about this asteroid already. I just picked the first random seed that came up, so I didn't really look at what it has. But it looks like we've got slime and thimbleweed. It looks like we've got mud and polluted dirt and bog buckets, so great early food source. We've got quite a bit of water going on in different places. We've got the slime. Got some gold. That's always a good starting for some heat. We got a little bit of coal, but not much, so power might be a concern. But we'll see. And we got our first duplicate. So let's choose a dupe. Oh, well, before we do that, let's show you what we've got. Okay, so we've got Brains, who has advanced researching. He is already a Science 9. We've got Braun, who's our digger, and he's an Excavation 7. And we've got Maker, who has Construction, and Construction 9. So, that's what we've got. Brains, Braun, and Maker. So who do we have here? We have Rocketry. Suit wearing, building some eggs and oxalite. I'm gonna go with since we did a single, we'll just do this and see what rolls. So this is Rocketry, so we're gonna say, hey, we got Blasty here. Why not? Do we need Rocketry? Not at all, but in the meantime, you can just run around and supply and do things like that. Why not? In fact, we'll get you started with improved carrying. Ha! You didn't see that coming, did you? We need bedrooms, all of that stuff. As you can see, we're just knocking away science stuff. So, all right. So, I'm going to pause here, and we're going to come back, and I'm going to have a base design all outlined. We'll see you in a bit. All right, we're back. We're at cycle 6, so this is just a little touch base of where we are at. We've got some temporary infrastructure set up. Beds are not ideal. The shine bugs keep keeping everybody awake. We moved this water out over here. We still got this one. We moved the 2 pockets of water out that were up here, and now we are digging down here. We should have our upgraded dig skill in a moment, so we can do that. And we've outlined one side of where we're going to put rooms. These are 64 size rooms, so anything that fits into a 64, we will. So barracks, bathrooms, stuff like that will go into this area. Now, I am going to apply some feedback with this in that when I design the bedrooms. I know I'm breaking away from normal. Shock! I'm not going to put planters on each side and all that. I'm just going to put the maximum of 10 beds and things like that. So we're just going to move forward and go from there. From a decision or research tree, we're just moving straight down the tree here. We're already more than halfway through to gas management in the first level. So we're just going to keep going there and get all of that done with our science guy, our brains. And we've got our next skills. Is it the digger? And it is. Haha, yay, all right. All right, cool. That means we can now dig out all of this to get over into here. So that is good news. So we're going to continue as soon as we're going to continue digging this out. And then we'll start building the bases. We'll move the bedrooms, we'll create bathrooms, so on and so forth. That is my goal. We're going to survive on the basics. We're not going to rush. We're going to dig it out, drop all the resources down so we don't have to worry about cleaning the area up, and go from there. So we'll see you around cycle 11 and see how we are doing. Be back soon. All right, we are back on cycle 11 to finish out this first episode. So you can see here that as far as our science, we have progressed everything in the first level. Now we're working on the second, and we're just going to start going down. So we've got our science machine to do that. We've got water to do that. We're good to go. We're going to work on transferring water down below. We'll use this water, but we'll clear out the rest for now. Excuse me. And then you can see something interesting here. We've got our first bedroom in place. In fact, we need to put our last bed in the middle. There we go. Maximum bedsomes. And then we can do hanging pots up here, right? So we'll figure that out later. But anyways, we're going to have a ladder and access way over here. We've got a center area with space to build stuff. Right now we've got some oxygen just so that we can start supplying the upper area of the base. And then we've got this over here, which is a sized room of 120 tiles approximately outside of where the sand fell. This is going to be our first nature reserve. I've rarely built them. Now, obviously, we need plants for that. So we'll need some pips, but at some point, we'll either find pips or we will get pips from the printing pod. It's going to happen. And then we'll put them in here, throw some seeds, they'll plant it, we'll have a nature reserve. So we're going to make room for that 120 tiles. So the goal is that these rooms here are 64, containing everything that'll be 64. These are 120, containing anything that needs 120. And then we're going to do 96s over here to contain everything for our 96s, which is really farms and ranches and things like that. That is our goal. So we will proceed to do that, excuse me, and accomplish that. So I'm very excited that, we're applying some feedback here with the aerial pots or hanging pots and beds. We're doing things a little bit differently, and we're going to maximize room size, not be as prescriptive. And of course, I'm going to do most of the work off camera. In between things, our guys are standing around. We should get them going. What's the... we gotta make sure, where's the edge of this? Okay, so it's right there. All right, good. So we can mark these out. We will put, of course, ventilation in here. As you can see, we'll put ventilation in the middle somewhere too. And we'll go from there. Now, we do have a gap on this one. Actually, I don't want to build these yet because we want to dig this out first so that we're dropping stuff down. All right. Anyways, this is good progress for a start. We've got plenty of food because we're digging so much out. Oxygen is fine. Bathrooms is coming up next. We moved these out of the way, and we only got the 2 toilets for our 5 dupes. And they're all on the same schedule right now, so, But our first latrine will come in over here, right in this one. We're going to do 2 beds and a latrine. Maybe we'll do 3 and we'll put the latrine down here. I'm not sure. Anyways. Excuse me, that is the plan, and we've got our first thing. So we're going to start working our way down this first level here. Maybe we should prioritize some of this other stuff. Like, we will. We'll prioritize getting this since we've got a ways to travel, and then we'll prioritize our oxygen reclamation system. Yeah, that's smart. We'll do that. All right. Excited. New way of playing, new way of doing it. We're on cycle 12. I've been playing for probably about an hour. We've got a 20-minute video. I'm going to continue playing and record the next one. Don't know how often these will come out. Maybe I'll be able to do enough to manage getting one out every other day or something like that. Because the playtime's excuse me, the playtime's the same, but obviously I'm doing not a lot of editing. I'm just splicing some pieces together. And cutting some stuff out where I'm not recording and talking. But goal is 20-minute episodes, show progress, different things. We'll go from there. I'm kind of excited. Hopefully this will work out and I'll be able to do it. And of course, our other two series are going to continue. We've got our hour-long series of just playing through. So if you want something to play and just go off in the background, hey, I appreciate that. And our other series, which we are progressing slowly, albeit, I know, into advancement. We're going to continue that as well. Thank you for joining, everybody. Take care and see you in the next episode.